down on it.
My name is Bernadette Heenan, 138 High Spire Road, Richboro. I'm coming before the board this evening to request that the water and sewer meetings be televised for the entire community. Having attended several of these meetings, I really believe it would be beneficial for the community to see what is evolving here. There's a lot of misinformation out there. It's become very, very contentious. I understand there's a cost associated with televising these meetings, but I understand if the meetings were held in this facility and we used our own cameras, it would approximately be $400, $500 to tape these meetings. I do visitation to a lot of the elderly residents that live in the section that is going through this regrouping with this product. I just believe it would be very beneficial. And I'm wondering, I did come before the Water and Sewer Authority, I believe 2 months ago, requesting that they take this into consideration and did not get a response. And I understand the budget is tight. I understand there are constraints. But I think we can move things around a little bit to allow the community to become more informed. At this point, I feel this community has become so divided, and it's so contentious to sit at home and watch these meetings. Years ago, we were very concerned about having the school board meetings televised with regards to taxes and various issues. And what we have found is having it televised and having a forum that people can be respectful to one another, that we're able to resolve a lot of these issues. So, you know, we have a reasonable cost here. $400, $500 is not a significant cost. Moving it into this facility, which I believe there is availability on Wednesday evenings for this facility, this is better handicapped accessible for many of these individuals that are coming out to these meetings. And I would just respectfully like the board to consider having these meetings televised. When we sit at home and we listen to the Planning Commission and we listen to the Zoning Commission, this is why we have a PEG channel, Public Education Government channel. There needs to be more information put out there. And, you know, I understand there's constraints with the website and trying to build the website, but this would be a very quick vehicle that we could use this channel to bring the information to the community. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Will I get any type of yes, no answer? Will the community get any yes, no answer?
We'll pass this on to the authority because that would be their ultimate decision to make.
Well, I have a problem with this because I did go to the authority and I did ask them, and quite frankly, there only needs to be one ADA compliance issue that people cannot access various facilities. These are people that are paying for contracts in the township to have Comcast or Verizon, and I really believe it's a responsibility of this board to better facilitate the knowledge out there via this channel. So if I could have in writing sometime in the near future, possibly, you know, within the next few weeks, what your opinion is. But I do believe this is beneficial. And this community has become so divided on this issue. You know, we all have to be respectful to one another. And I really would like you to take this into consideration because I really feel right now with the way things are, it would be a very positive PR stand for this board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me, Let me follow up on that. We've requested that of the Water and Sewer Board since, I think, September, when we started to have the meetings with regard to the water for the sewer extension project on the western end. So we share that same frustration because we're several, sometimes 100, 150 people that are crammed into the room down there. We had to go into the back. There was no microphones. They have made, the last 4 meetings, I believe, have been at the Richboro Middle School, which has been of some help. But when we go to those meetings, as soon as we went to a bigger forum, it was incredible. The board just shut down. And whenever we asked questions, it was the same thing that everyone's getting from you, George, is no comment, no comment. We're not gonna answer that. We're not gonna address that. So that's the frustration. And so I agree, and I think
Well, I know there
If we could take a
was,
resolution here on the board.
well, there was a meeting
come
at
on, Frank,
Spring
it's-
Mill.
No, you say
It's
that.
not,
but
it's not
if
us.
the
it's not
budget
for
of
us
the
here.
ratepayers
It's
and
not
the
for us
authority's
here, Mr.
responsibility.
There
Rothenhouse.
was-
True.
Number one, at the last,
Understand.
you're very correct indeed, the authority board did vote to go to the junior high. There were 19 people at the last meeting. And indeed, the authority did meet at the junior high,
That's 'cause you
excuse me, and the authority did meet there for the past 4 meetings. Regarding the ADA requirements, and that's a very good point, the authority is ADA capable, and as you're well aware of that.
But we had
And-
individuals that were standing that evening.
And we
that
have
had
not, and
difficulty-
indeed, ma'am, that's why we
I'm not
transferred it
ma'am, I'm
to the
Mrs.
junior high.
Heenan.
Oh.
But the junior high was difficult to access. Of all our schools, I would say Richborough Junior High has to be one of the most difficult buildings to access with
And we
regards to
tried the
that
high
ramp.
school, we tried, the
Okay.
Council
But
Rock
what
South
I'm
was not
saying-
available.
Excuse me, Mr. Long.
And the bottom
I have
line
the
is,
floor.
we are now back at the authority meeting, and
Well-
incidentally, there will not be a meeting next week, there's nothing on the agenda.
Well, excuse me. My question is, why can't we have the meetings in this room and utilize these cameras? To me, it just makes sense. It's handicapped accessible, the lighting is good, the audio is good, and it represents a PEG channel. So I don't understand what the problem is. My other question is, there was a taping done through Scott Petrie's office of the meeting at the Spring Mill with the DEP. I'm wondering what the status of that meeting was and how soon that will be put on this channel.
I know nothing about that at all. As far as,
There was a taping. I
I-
believe Jeff Jim taped it.
I think he was there, I don't know what purpose that was for, but I don't know it's ever been brought forward. We'll check into that, so.
Okay, but, is it a possibility to get some kind of an answer? I mean, number one, I think moving it back to the Water and Sewer Authority building, it's a limited space capacity as far as how many residents. I believe it has a higher number ratio in this particular building with regards to the fire code. So it only makes sense that we would use this building. And with regards to being able to access a channel station. So if I could get some kind of a feedback, I'd appreciate that. And I know the community would appreciate it. Believe it or not, a lot of people do watch this channel.
Judge, I think it's a reasonable request. I mean, I think Ms. Heenan presents some valid rationales as to why to televise the meeting, and I know certainly at the last 4 meetings that were held at Richborough Middle School, Video Gold Productions.
Video
Jeff
Gold
Jim
Productions,
was providing the
mics.
the
Audio.
audio equipment.
And
down
I'm not
So-
sure, that's my question. I'm wondering how much that actually cost to just set up those mics, when in fact you could have a total production for $400, $500. It just makes sense. And I
agree.
think it would be helpful for this community to get the information out there. And I would also ask for the people to be respectful that if this is televised, that there has to be guidelines to how to televise with regards to community not being, up in arms, as well as the board not being contentious back to the community. So if I could have something in writing, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll pass that on, thank you.